Good morning, students. Today we are going to see about the Unit 1 Introduction to VB. Introduction to VB. So, Visual Basic is a high level programming language which was evolved from the early DOS versions called BASIC. The most important interesting features of this language, it is integrated development environment. Visual Basic 6.0 is a very powerful programming language. The many versions of VB exist in the market. So the popular one and still widely used by many VB programmers is none other than Visual Basic 6. Need of Visual Basic language or importance of VB. The first development tool from the Microsoft, it is considered as the most powerful programming language. VB is the combinations of different components that are used on the forms having the specific attributes and actions with the help of those components. Now we see about the evaluations of the VB. VB 1.0, the interface was barely graphical, using extended ASCII characters to stimulate and the appearance of a GUI. In 1992, the programming environment was easy to use and its speed was improved. In 1993, VB3 included as a data engine. In 1995, it is a 32-bit and it is introduced the ability to write classes in VB. In 1996, the versions 5.0 introduced. In 1998, the version 6.0 is introduced. The evaluation or history of Visual Basic. The father of the Visual Basic is an Alan Hoover. In 1987, the director of application software for Cognitive Computing Corporations wrote a programming called Ruby. The Visual Basic VB system is a fourth generation programming system which produces much of the code itself of the programmer designs the interface of her application. The Visual Basic 6.0 for Windows released on May 20, 1991. In VB versions 2.0 for Windows, it was introduced in the year November 1992. Visual Basic 3.0, it was introduced in the year 1993. Visual Basic 4 was released in the year 1995. Visual Basic 5 is used to create true executable and to create their own custom controls. VB6 was introduced in the year 1998. Let me say about the advantages of Visual Basic. The structure of the Visual Basic programming is very simple, particularly to execute the codes. The VB is not a programming language, but it is primarily used as an integrated development environment that is called as an IDE. The graphical user interface of the VB provides views for the management of the program structure in the large, and various types of classes, modules, procedures are used in it. So it is a event-driven programming. VB is a first programmer friendly language in the world. The VB provides a comprehensive, interactive and context sensitive online help system. New development features makes the easy to use component based programming model of the Visual Basic to the creations of HTML and dynamic HTML. The .com components can be different languages and then integrated using the VB. The COM components can be embedded in linked to the applications. The user interface also stored to the documents. The Visual Basic is built around the .NET environment used by the Microsoft Visual Languages. So let me see about the disadvantages of Visual Basic. The Visual Basic is a proprietary programming language is written by the Microsoft. So the programs are written in the Visual Basic cannot easily be transferred to other operating system. It is a platform independent. It is only run on the MS Windows operating system. So there are so many disadvantages compared with C. C has better declarations of array. It is possible to initialize an array of structure in C at the declaration time. That is impossible in VB. A project is a program designed to use the application that may be simple like a calculator program or complex program like a Word program. So the features of Visual Basic. The first features will be IDE. IDE means Integrated Development Environment. Visual Basic 2006 IDE can be accessed by opening a new project. The VB IDE consists of Solution Explorer, Toolbox Form, Properties Windows and Menu Bar. Graphical User Interface or User Interface. The VB is a graphical user interface language. VB program allows to show something on the screen that the user can interact with the mouse and the keyboard. The event-driven programming is a programming paradigm which the flow of execution is determined by the events. Modularization is a good programming practice to modularize the programs. Debugging. Visual Basic offers two different options for code debugging. First one, debugging managed code runtime debugger. Runtime debuggers helps to find and fix the bugs in programs at runtime. Data access. By using the data access features to create the database scalable server-side components for most databases. The last one, Macros IDE. The Macros integrated development environment is similar in design and function to the Visual Basic Studio IDE. To getting started with the VB6, the programming environment looks like this. We are seeing in the screen. To run the Visual Basic program, select Start Programs, Microsoft Visual Basic 6.0 as shown in the figure. So this is the IDE environment which are used in our programming languages. The integrated development environment is a software application that provide a comprehensive facility to computer programmers for the software development. Why VB is called an IDE? One of the most significant Visual Basic 6.0 is the integrated development environment. It is commonly used in the programming world to describe the interface and the environment that allows to use and create our applications. So VB IDE consists of Solution Explorer, Toolbox, Form, Properties Windows and Menu Bar. So the Visual Basic IDE is made up of number of components: Menu Bar, Object Browsers, Toolbar, Form Designer, Project Explorer, Toolbox, Form Layout Window, Properties Window. To add a new form, Add Form command on the project menu is available. To add a new menu module, Add Module command on the project menu. To open an existing project, Open Project command on the file menu. To save the current project, Save Project command on the file menu. Locks and unlocks the command controls. The locks and controls command on the controls on the format menu. The display the properties window. The properties windows command on the view menu. Display the project explorer. The project explorer command on the view menu. Display the object browser. The object browser command on the view menu. To start an applications in design mode, Start command on the run menu. Used for debugging, stop the executions of a program while running. The break command on the run menu. Stop execution of an applications and returns to in design mode. The end command on the run menu. Toggle breakpoints on menu. The toggles breakpoint on the debug menu. Display the value of the current selections in the code window. Quick watch command on the debug. Execute code on procedure or statement at a time in the code window. Stop over command on the debug menu. Thank you.